One sunny afternoon, you wake up feeling like a rock star, so you grab your microphone and put on a dazzling show. And just a few minutes later, you switch gears and decide you want to be a doctor. And in a flash, you're saving lives. Now, why stop there? You're the president now, and nothing can stand in your way. That's the magic of Barbie. With just your imagination, you can be anyone you want, have your dream house, and a fabulous wardrobe to match. And guess what? That's precisely how Barbie influenced young girls and boys during playtime. Want to know more about the mastermind behind this fantastic doll? Well, stay with me as we dive deep into the life of Barbie's brilliant creator. Let's uncover the story behind the icon that continues to inspire kids all over the world. American entrepreneur and innovator Ruth Mariana Handler is best known as the co-founder of Mattel and the designer of the Barbie doll. She was born on November 4th, 1916 in Denver, Colorado to Polish Jewish immigrants. Early life, Handler was born to poor, illiterate Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe, the Contemporary Jewish Museum claims. Her father, Jacob, arrived at Ellis Island in 1907 and was transported to Denver, Colorado to work as a blacksmith. Shortly after, he wed Handler's mom, Ida, and the couple had their first 6 kids. Now, one of 10 children, Handler was born in 1916. After Ida became ill, Handler spent the better part of her young adulthood residing with her sister. Handler relocated to Los Angeles at the age of 19 and started working at Paramount Studios. She wed Izzy, now known as Elliot Handler, the artist and grandson of a Ukrainian rabbi, in 1938. He had started tinkering with a novel plastic called lucite, making ornaments, tables, and chairs. Together with her husband and a close friend, Handler helped sell these products and found the company now known as Mattel. To give her daughter Barbara something similar to what her brother Ken had, Handler crafted her own action figures in 1945. In March of 1959, during the New York Toy Expo, the first Barbie doll was introduced. And a game-changing TV commercial helped make Barbie a household name. In his first year, Handler sold 300,000 dolls, and his business flourished from there. The Handlers' commitment to their Jewish heritage was unwavering. The Los Angeles Synagogue Temple Isaiah was founded in 1946 by Elliot and Ruth. Additionally, Handler was the inaugural recipient of the United Jewish Appeal's Woman of Distinction Award. Formation of Mattel. Handler went back to work at Paramount, and her husband, a lighting fixture designer, enrolled in Art Center. He also started sketching ideas for lucite jewelry and other accessories. Ruth encouraged him to launch a furniture company once she recognized its commercial potential. She was an integral part of the sales team, helping to secure deals with big names like Douglas Aircraft Company. The dealer pushed him to make the art and offered to sell it for him. She also arranged a huge order for die-cast models of the Douglas DC-3 airliner with the company. These models were to be distributed as holiday gifts to business clients. The Handlers started their company when they were 22 years old. President Roosevelt declared that plastics would be rationed for military use during World War II. The Handlers were currently in the midst of fulfilling a sizable order for plastic picture frames that they had manufactured. They were so desperate that they switched to cheaper wood. As a result of the success of the wooden frames, the original order was doubled. The Handlers, together with their new production specialist, Harold Matt Matson, toasted their success that night. The combination of Matt and L, from Elliot, was settled upon as the company's eventual moniker, Mattel. Ruth Handler came up with the idea to start making picture frames, and her sales were essential in securing the initial clients, but no one thought to include her name in the company's moniker. The corporation was looking to expand its product line and saw an opportunity in the renewed interest in the ukulele and the work of performer Arthur Godfrey. The Yuka-Doodle was invented by the Handlers, and by 1957, they had sold 11 million of them. The Handlers also found success with replicating weapons from well-liked episodes in the form of toys. Mattel decided to cash in on the Western trend by becoming a sponsor of a new TV show. The Mickey Mouse Club was successful for its 52-week run and earned back its $500,000 budget. In 1958, Mattel's revenue hit $14 million. When demand for furniture dropped during World War II, Mattel redirected its efforts to toy production. In 1956, when Ruth saw her daughter Barbara playing with paper dolls and assigning them adult roles, she realized she had found her inspiration. Since most dolls at the time were depictions of infants, Ruth proposed that Elliot create a doll with an adult body. Ruth continued despite initial disinterest from Mattel's executives. In 1956, while touring Europe with her children Barbara and Kenneth, Ruth Handler came upon a German doll named Bild Lilly. The adult figure doll was exactly what Handler had in mind. She decided to buy 3 of the dolls after being intrigued by the product, giving one to her daughter and returning the other 2 to Mattel. Character from Reinhard Boythen's satirical comic strip in the newspaper Bild inspired the Lilly doll. The Lilly doll, created for an adult market, quickly became a hit with kids who liked accessorizing her in a variety of ways. Handler brought the doll back to the United States and had it remade with the help of local inventor and designer Jack Ryan. After her daughter Barbara, the doll became known as Barbie. The American International Toy Fair in New York City on March 9, 1959, is widely recognized as the day Barbie was born. A boyfriend for Barbie named Ken after the Handler's son Kenneth was added to the lineup later on by the Handlers and Mattel. More names of relatives to come. When Barbara Handler married Alan Siegel, they created Ken's friend Alan. Baby Cheryl, a 1965 talking doll, was named after the Handlers' first granddaughter, and Todd, a Barbie doll, was named after their grandson. Both Barbie and Ken have become international icons. Since its inception, Barbie dolls have had a profound impact on the toy market, driving demand for a wide variety of spin-off products and supporting characters. Don Richard Cox said in a 1977 essay for the Journal of Popular Culture that Barbie's impact goes beyond the realm of play, since she represents ideals of female autonomy and an aspirational, rich lifestyle. The first Barbie doll. The original Barbie doll debuted with her characteristic top-knot hair and a black and white zebra-striped swimsuit. As a teenage fashion model, it came in both blonde and brunette variations. Mattel's in-house fashion designer, Charlotte Johnson, created the outfit for the doll. Japanese housewives were responsible for sewing the first Barbie doll's outfits by hand. In the first year alone, sales of Barbie dolls reached almost 350,000. In 1961, Louis Marx and Company sued Mattel, claiming that their licensed doll, Bild Lilly, was infringed upon by Mattel's Barbie. They said Mattel's claims that Barbie was an original idea were incorrect and that the company had just copied Bild Lilly. In 1963, Mattel purchased the copyright and patent rights for Bild Lilly from Greiner and Hauser, effectively ending the case without going to court. Ruth thought it was crucial for the doll to seem realistic. However, preliminary market research revealed that some parents were wary of the doll because of its pronounced breasts on the chest. Many alterations have been made to Barbie's appearance over the years, the most notable being the 1971 modification that made her eyes look forward rather than sideways. The widespread use of television advertising was pioneered by Barbie and has subsequently been copied by the toy industry at large. Mattel said in 2006 that 3 Barbie dolls were sold every second, bringing the total number of dolls sold to over 1 billion in over 150 countries. Playscale refers to the usual 1:6 ratio used in manufacturing Barbie dolls and their accessories. The typical Barbie doll measures about 12 and 12 inches, 30 centimeters. By late 1964, the Saturday Evening Post reported that Barbie products supported 5,000 workers in Japan, 800 workers in California, and numerous press agents and advertising executives. Barbie had a secretary to answer 20,000 fan letters a week. By 1968, the Barbie fan club grew to 1.5 million members in the United States. In 1993, a second-issue Barbie in its original box was sold at auction for over $5,000. There were ups and downs in Barbie sales over the years. There was a significant drop between 2014 and 2016. In 2020, however, Mattel saw its biggest sales rise in 2 decades, selling $1.35 billion worth of Barbie dolls and accessories. The 2017 total of $950 million has been surpassed. MarketWatch reports that the brand is expected to continue growing well until 2030, with the release of the film Barbie in 2023 serving as a major catalyst. The buzz surrounding the film has also inspired a new style movement called Barbiecore. Barbie's famous and powerful prominence in the toy industry is demonstrated by her continued resonance with children and collectors around the world. Later years. Cancer caused Handler to lose a breast in the 1970s. Her condition forced her to reduce her hours at Mattel. Because of her low self-esteem, she was no longer able to effectively lead the company. Mattel was investigated in 1973 as a result of major decisions made without her approval. Handler was never able to grab hold of things in Mattel and regain control, she writes in her memoirs Dream Doll. According to the New York Times, Mattel disclosed in 1974 that the company had inflated its reported earnings and revenue. The handlers were investigated for financial report falsification, and in October 1975, both Handler and her husband Elliot were removed from their positions as co-chairs of Mattel's board and subsequently resigned as directors. The New York Times reported in November the same year that Mattel, the handlers, and the company's outside auditors had settled 5 shareholder suits, alleging that Mattel had issued misleading financial statements by overstating its 1971 pre-tax income from $34 million by $15 million to $20 million. The terms of the settlement called for the handlers to give up 2 million shares of Mattel in exchange for $30 million. As Ruth persisted in her fight against breast cancer, she also found herself facing fraud and false reporting accusations from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in 1978. She entered a plea of no contest and was given a fine and community service. New journey. To combat cancer, she had a modified radical mastectomy, which was often used at the time. Due to difficulties in finding a good breast prosthesis, Handler decided to make her own. With the help of new business partner Peyton Massey and under her new company Ruthden Corp., Handler manufactured a more realistic version of a woman's breast, called Nearly Me. This invention became quite popular, and then First Lady Betty Ford was personally fitted for one. While prosthetics had been around for a while, Handler famously said, "They were designed by men who didn't have to wear the damn things." Thousands of women's lives have been improved thanks to her company, Nearly Me. In the early 1980s, she told a reporter, "When I conceived Barbie, I believed it was important to a little girl's self-esteem to play with a doll that has breasts. Now I find it even more important to return that self-esteem to women who have lost theirs," when she came up with the idea for Barbie. "I feel an even greater urgency to restore confidence in women who have lost it." Ruth Moscow Handler was honored with many accolades for her work in business and charity. She was the first Woman of Distinction of the United Jewish Appeal and was honored as Woman of the Year in Business by the Los Angeles Times and the Toy Industry Hall of Fame by Toy Manufacturers of America. Ruth Handler died in California on April 27, 2002, after colon cancer surgery complications. They put her age at 85. 9 years later, at the age of 95, her husband Elliot Handler also passed away. Ruth Handler overcame many obstacles to create the iconic Barbie doll, which has encouraged and inspired generations of young girls all over the world. That wraps up our exploration of Ruth Handler's extraordinary life story. We hope you found it as fascinating as we did. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content. Thanks for joining us, and remember, keep hustling and keep those dreams alive.